It's not a secret. Actors and actresses do a lot of stuff to prepare for their roles. Christian Bale famously shed 60 pounds for his part as Trevor, an individual who has insomnia, in the 2004 film The Machinist. For his role in the action-adventure In the Heart of the Sea, Chris Hemsworth maintained a 500-calorie-a-day diet. Let's not even mention what he had to do to be the god of thunder, Thor. In addition to shaving her head, Demi Moore prepared for her role of Jordan O'Neill in G.I. Jane by participating in grueling training led by former Navy SEALs. And the list is endless. For today, our focus is Descendants, and here's what the characters did to prepare for their roles. Make sure you subscribe to Riveted for this and more amazing videos. Learn the backstories. When viewers were first introduced to Descendants, it was quite an exciting moment. Fans were eager to know the children of the villains and heroes from their favorite stories. We know the backstories of the notable characters like Maleficent, Snow White, and Aurora, but viewers never knew much about the children apart from their names. The cast members had to do a lot of digging and studying to find out more about their characters and their lineages, and there's a lot of material to read from. It was vital for them to study their characters because backstories always came up in interviews, and it would be very embarrassing not to know about the characters that they played. We've watched Disney movies for entertainment, but the actors had to go back and binge-watch the respective movies to learn about their characters. China revealed that she binge-watched The Little Mermaid 20 times to learn more about how Ursula moved and walked so that her character, Uma, wouldn't be so different from her mother. I'm sure they all did the same thing because they portrayed the characters amazingly. Even though they were different from their parents, one could tell that the children had the parents' genes. Eating healthy. In case you've never noticed, the cast members of Descendants are very healthy people, even if some of them had a bit of weight before joining the cast. They had to tone it down a little bit. Disney advised the stars to eat healthy food, especially for a project like Descendants, which is very tasking. The remarkable actors rehearse and film for long hours, which could be very straining on the body. So it was goodbye to all the junk food and hello to healthy eating. Well, not all the time, though. Dove Cameron revealed in one of her interviews that after filming Descendants 3, they all went to the store and got their favorite foods. Eating healthy is a plus, even in their real lives, so they must be glad the Descendants made them eat healthy food. Among many other benefits of eating healthy, it lowers the risk of developing chronic health risks, such as heart disease and cancer. They may be young, but the older they get, the more the body is prone to health risks. A former Disney actor, Zac Efron, revealed he underwent a diet and exercise regime designed by celebrity trainer Patrick Murphy called Eminent Fasting. Wow. Workouts. The Descendants franchise involved a lot of movement, which means the actors had to stay in shape. In film, the production will often hire a personal trainer and nutritionist for an actor to ensure they get in optimal shape for a role. The personal trainer works closely with the nutritionist to determine what kind of look and shape they want the actor to be in. Each actor works with a trainer who creates a cardio and strength training program that will not only get the actor in prime optimal shape, but also ties into the type of movement and fighting they'll be doing in the film. Dove Cameron detailed the insane workouts she had to do while preparing for her role in Descendants: 20-minute Stairmaster level 10, 20-minute bike level 8, 10-minute elliptical level 10 by 10, 10-minute bodyweight booty work, and lots of water. Of course, the workouts were different for Descendants stars depending on how they lived their lives before joining the cast. It was probably not too hard for someone like Boo Boo, who was already into martial arts and crazy workouts. Disney contracts state that the actors cannot lose weight, gain weight, or alter their appearances, and we all know how strict Disney can get with the rules. You've seen the amount of dancing done in Descendants, and it's no joke. Perfectly getting the routine requires hours and months of training. Of course, the Descendants cast had awesome choreographers, including Kenny Ortega, who is an award-winning choreographer. In the first 2 Descendants movies, he was assisted by co-choreographer Paul Becker. They had to come up with creative ways of mixing good and evil in the dances. In the end, Ortega and Becker pulled from various pop cultural influences, including early 70s punk rock, 80s icon Tony Basil, and Anna White's Oscar-winning choreography in the 1968 film Oliver, to achieve an aesthetic that's rock and pop and punk meets Broadway meets movie musical. We realized that not everyone who was part of the franchise could dance from the beginning. Some had to go through vigorous training to get the steps and the choreography right. Some revealed that they had to take personal dancing classes to catch up with people like Boo Boo Stewart and Cameron Boyce, who were already pro dancers. By the time they were filming the 3rd movie, most of the actors were already pros, and they were joined by the amazing Jamal. Jamal Sims is one of a handful of choreographers who've pushed the boundaries of dance in film, TV, and on stage. We know one person who isn't an outstanding dancer, Mitchell Hope. Well, his character required him to be awkward, so it didn't matter whether he could dance or not, but at least he tried. Vocal training. We cannot mention the Descendants franchise without mentioning the amazing music involved. I'm sure we've realized that the cast members all had terrific vocals, so if you want to chill with the villains or attend the Ardon prep, you have to make sure your vocals are perfect, otherwise you might not blend in. Well, great voices come with intense rehearsals, and the cast members were not an exception. They all had to go through vocal coaching even though they had sung during the auditions. Luckily, most of them were not green when it comes to music. Dove Cameron has been singing her entire life, and she'll be releasing her music soon. Sophia Carson has made a fortune out of singing, and she continues to be among the best. cast. Oh, and the talented China Anne McClain, who has been singing with her sister since she was a toddler. And we can't forget Boo Boo, who actually has a band of his own. In short, every main character in Descendants was already a singer, but they still had to go through intense vocal coaching to make sure the music sounded right. It was an amazing platform to get the vocal training, since they can now kick off their solo careers as musicians. Dye their hair. Okay, this only applies to one person, Cameron Boyce. He actually bleached his hair for the film. He revealed it took 6 hours in a salon and the upkeep was not easy. Disney was looking for committed actors to play their roles, and Cameron was the definition of commitment. We guess he got tired of all the wigs they had to wear and finally decided to bleach the hair. Sure made him look like the true son of Cruella de Vil. One person, however, who may have wanted to dye her hair but wasn't allowed to do it was Dove. Well, we can clearly see how much she wanted to dye it because she has the signature purple look in her real life now. Well, Disney had a very good reason, though. Liv and Maddie was still shooting at the same time, and they were shooting the first Descendants, so she was better off wearing the wigs in the movie. Plus, I'm sure they had a lot of plans with her, and dyeing her hair would have been a waste. I mean, it went from light purple to blonde to dark purple, and they added shades of blue in the final Descendants movie. Practicing accents. Actors do crazy things to learn accents after being cast for a role. Some approach it technically, using books and CDs that drill individual sounds. This is probably the easiest way. Some actors have memorized the International Phonetic Alphabet, the IPA, which allows them to transcribe any accent into symbols. Once they know all the vowel and consonant substitutions, they can go through the script, marking up each word with directions as how they should pronounce it. They can then drill pronunciation as they learn their lines. If they're lucky enough, they get into productions which hire personal trainers to teach them the accents. Well, Descendants took 3 months to cast the actors from different backgrounds, and they had to learn the American accent. Mitchell Hope was born in Australia, and he has a thick Australian accent in real life, yet he was cast as a very major character, King Ben. He had to practice the American accent for days. The only person who was lucky enough on set was Thomas Dougherty, who has an adorable Scottish accent. His character, Harry Hook, fit the accent so well that the production allowed him to speak in the Scottish accent. Staying in character. One is only truly an actor if they can stay in character, and it's not as easy as it looks. To constantly be in character, the actor must train to be the character even before they start shooting. It was no different for the Descendants actors. They needed to understand who their character was, what they like, what they hate, whom they love, like, and dislike, what they wear, how they talk and move, and even how they think. Disney is always very particular about image, and the production encourages the actors to be in character even when they are not on set. Makeup. The Descendants characters are definitely very colorful. The hair and makeup require a lot of time to look on point. It took Sophia Carson 2.5 hours to prep for the role each day. With all the intense hair whipping and Kenny Ortega's choreography, it would have been crucial to not only make sure that the wigs looked good, but also ensure that they stayed on firmly. However, she revealed that at one time, her hair fell off while on set. But of course, we never got to see that part. And it wasn't just Sophia. All the other characters had to go through intense transformation before portraying their roles. Trying on costumes. Descendants had some of the best costumes ever on any Disney movie. Their amazing designer revealed that they made over 1,500 costumes for the different characters. Woo! Imagine what they went through before they looked the way they did. Well, that's almost everything they did before they portrayed their roles, and that marks the end of today's video. This has been Riveted, and we publish amazing videos daily.